MK, I think they can be friends, but not close friends. Bro, how do you define that? Where and when do you draw that line? If this is true, how do you define that? What's a friend and what's a close friend? How do you define that? Nah, just don't go there. Just don't go there, full stop. Because you can't define that. And once emotions get involved, believe me, you're going to start pushing that bar of close friendship further and further and further. Believe me. Rachie, men and women can be friends. Yes, you do need to control yourself. Again, this is the attitude that I'm talking about. No, you can't. You absolutely can't. And if you're not feeling feelings, particularly as a man, as I say, women are different. They tend to, it's more emotional for them. But men in particular, if you're not feeling feelings for this girl who is a member of the opposite sex to you, there's something wrong with your manhood. And ladies, try this test. Try this test with a man that you're friends with right now. Send him a text message and say to him, John, Stephen, Abdul, whatever his name is, do you want to come over and have some fun tonight? Just watch his reaction. Watch. And let me tell you something else, ladies. A bit of a harsh reality here. Men don't befriend women platonically. Nope. Frankly speaking, we don't care about your emotional stuff and how sad you are. No. Men don't care. Men do not befriend you platonically without the hope of one day being able to exploit that friendship sexually. You don't believe me? Send a text to your guy friends tonight, to one of them or to all of them. Say, John, Stephen, whatever his name is, you want to come over and have some fun tonight? See how he takes you back. Do it for yourself. Don't take my word for it. Do this for yourself right now. Isra, all of my lives are saved and they also go up onto YouTube as well. Here's a good point. Do you know how many personal trainers smash their clients? It's easy to smash too because the client are always insecure. Woo! Low blow there. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, you see the personal trainer behind her, holding her from her waist and the booty. Come on, man. Nonsense. Cut the desire from the root and not from the stem. I like that. Right. I was literally thinking of buying some chocolate. Right. Are men the gatekeepers of a relationship? Yes, we are gatekeepers of the relationship. Women are the gatekeepers of sex. Men are the gatekeepers of relationships. In the Western world, who bends down on one knee? The woman or the man? It's the man. He's the one who asks. If he doesn't ask, there's no conversation. Yes, men are the gatekeepers of relationships. Even in amongst Muslims, who goes to whose father? The woman comes to the guys or the man goes to the woman? Now the man approaches the father of the daughter. Men are the gatekeepers of relationships. Women are the gatekeepers of sex. Let's see this. A lot of girls will justify their friendships with men because they're the gatekeepers of sex, so they'll just friend zone the guy. Yeah, they will friend zone the guy, and the poor guy is just, I'm not going to say poor guys, that's what happens when you live the simple life. But the guy will just hang about there, just waiting on the periphery. But she's friend zoned him because physical intimacy for a woman is much more emotional than it is for a man. Hence why you rarely hear of a woman raping a man in the street, right? It just doesn't happen. And yet men do it all the time because it doesn't have to be emotional for a man. Sadie, I don't agree at all. Had the same male friend for 20 years. Send in the text, Sadie. Don't take my word for it. Don't take my word for it. In fact, because you're married, I know you're married, let your husband send the text. Because otherwise that could go pear-shaped for you real quick. Let your husband send the text. See what happens. And if you've got guy friends, then your husband has lady friends. And you should be much more concerned about that than you having guy friends, Sadie. Because if you're emotionally satisfied with your husband and you love him and you desire him, you won't necessarily desire another man. But your husband, even if he is emotionally satisfied with you, even if he desires you, even if he loves you, he can still have an affinity towards other women because that's just how we're wired. So you should be more concerned about him having lady friends than him about you having guy friends. Real talk. Send the text. Don't take my word for it. Okay. Can the opposite sex be friendly without being friends? Mostly at work. Can the opposite sex be friendly without being friends? Look, you can be cordial. If you're at work, right, and there's ladies in your workplace, or there's men in your workplace, you can't ignore them and be rude. You can be cordial. I'm not saying to not be cordial. I'm saying there's a difference between being cordial and being friendly. Being professional and being chummy. There's a difference. If you're in that setting, you're in that setting. It's still not ideal, by the way. Things can still happen. Relationships can still form. I remember my father telling me once, he had, this is going back some time now, but I think it was in 1998. Now, you have to bear in mind, my dad, he's got this big old beard. You can blatantly tell that he's Muslim. And still, he had this lady come up to him in the workplace and say to him, I don't know how things got to that point, but she said to my father, Jamal, I want to run away with you. Run away with me. This woman had 2 kids and was married. My dad looked at her like, have you lost your goddamn marbles? The hell's wrong with you, woman? Go back and finish your work. My point is this. Relationships can still form in the workplace. They can still form in the workplace. So you have to be careful. See, Rachie, again, this is idealistic thinking. This is not realistic thinking. Just because he's thinking it doesn't mean it's going to happen. Stop making everything about sex. Wake up. Wake up. If he's thinking it, the seed is there. It means it can grow. It can grow. After the Philip Schofield comment. Oh no. What if they were breastfed by the same one? Does that make a mahram to her? I'm not sure. Yes, that's correct. But you have to fulfill the rules of breastfeeding. The minimum five separate breastfeeding occasions. And the child must not be eating solid food at that moment. But this is a shari'i question. Speak to someone of knowledge, inshallah. That's a shari'i question. Alright. This is a good question. Advice on how to cut off male friends that have been around for years. My worry is they won't understand. The first thing I'll say is this. Men don't befriend women for the sake of it. Men befriend women to get something at the end of it if they can. So don't feel bad about cutting off the relationship because honestly, they ain't there for you. They're not there for you. I remember before I started practicing Islam, when I had female friends, I remember there was this one girl who was like, you're my sister. And she was like, yeah, you're my brother. And let me tell you something. If that woman made herself available to me, I would have exploited that. No shadow of a doubt in my mind at all. I don't know who I was kidding. We're going back a long time now. It's like when I was in school. But my point is this. Look, that's how we're thinking. That's how we're thinking. So don't feel bad because they're only there for one thing in the first place. Straight and simple. Now, in terms of how to do it, just do it. And don't feel bad about it. The end. Don't worry if they don't understand. Okay, let's get this. But what about men and women who can control themselves? Many can. Answer without the basis of Islam. Look, the truth of the matter is this. Infidelity is not the majority. It's a minority of the population who actually go to that degree, right? I am not saying that all people who mingle in a friendly manner with members of the opposite sex will end up trying to exploit that and have sex with them. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this. Why put yourself in a position to have to control yourself in the first place? Why do that? If you're on a diet, empty the chocolate cupboard and throw the chocolates in the bin. Why do you want to put yourself through that torture? The other thing I'll say to you is this, particularly as a man, if you're not feeling much feelings, like you've got a friendly relationship with a girl and you're feeling like, nah, I can't do anything. Let me tell you, there's something wrong with your balls. There's something wrong with your testosterone levels. You need to go and get your balls checked. You need to get your testosterone levels checked. You should be feeling something. And if you're not, my friend, you've been beta-tized, you've been feminized. Your balls are shrunk. So be careful. If you're not feeling anything, there's a problem there. You should be feeling something. Hence why I say cut it off from the root. Right. Thoughts on long distance relationships? Great question. For the most part, no, they don't work. That's it. They don't work. Unless you can actually go and live with that person, they don't work. If you want to come live, send me a thing, yeah? Right. Okay, this is a good question. How do I stay away from guys, like talking to them, etc., and save myself for whom I want to marry? Okay. How do you stay away from guys? Well, firstly and foremostly, do you work in an environment with guys? If you do, it's going to be more difficult for you, right? But I'm going to presume that you're not. Otherwise, you would have mentioned it in the question. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. How do I stay away from guys, like talking to them, etc.? You cut it from the root. Not from the stem, from the root. I give you an example. Cutting it from the stem is this. You have male friends on your Snapchat, but you try not to talk. You're trying not to talk. That's cutting it from the stem. Cutting it from the root is removing them off your Snapchat so you can't talk to each other. That's the root. Cutting it from the root is unfollowing him on Instagram or requesting him to unfollow you on Instagram, or simply blocking him. That's root cutting. That's cutting from the root. That's closing the door to all possibilities of going down that path. And you're a Muslim, pearls.svbr. That comes all part and parcel of the ayah, وَلَا تَقْرَبُوا الزِّنَا. Don't go anywhere near it. Stay far away. Okay, so you work in an environment with men. With that being the case, you just have to do your best. You have to do your best to not allow it to get chummy and so on. It's very hard. I'm not going to pretend like it's easy. I've worked in an environment with women before. It's very hard. So just do your best. You're going to have to communicate and be cordial and so on. Just do your best. Be careful and do your best. That's all I can say. And don't allow it to progress outside the work environment. It's about setting boundaries, really and truly. If a woman is ugly, then surely you don't feel something as a guy. Okay, again, I said this earlier. Who did Ben Affleck cheat with? He had a beautiful wife. I haven't met his wife. I'm just taking my wife's word for it. I don't know who she is. But my wife told me that Ben Affleck cheated with his maid. A quite average looking maid. Men don't need her to look beautiful. You want some more real talk? Listen, he can put a bag over your head, turn you around, do what he's got to do, and be done. You don't even need to look good. This is the reality. I heard apparently in Wales, I don't know if this is true or not, that some men are banging goats and sheep, fam. Like, that's very extreme, but it highlights the example I'm alluding to. Forget about it looking nice. It's a damn sheep, fam. My guy's doing a sheep. I never heard of a woman doing a sheep. My man's doing a sheep. She don't have to look nice. If she's made herself available, he's like, yo, free sex. Absolutely, I'm there. Count me in. Yeah, well, this is real talk, guys. What can I say? This is real talk. Okay, I like this question. Should I go for a girl who has many male friends? No. Absolutely not. Do you think men make friendships with women based on their attraction for the woman? Okay, let's have a look at these questions here. Do you think men make friendships with women based on their attraction for the woman? Do you think men make friendships with women based on their attraction for the women? I would say that attraction is the entry point. If a man is not attracted to her, then he cannot consider anything else about her character and so on. It's the entry point. But specifically that pertains to relationships, not to free sex, not to one night stands or whatever else it may be. She can be 4 out of 10. One night stand, no strings attached. I don't need to see you the following day. I don't even know your name. He's there. No problem. So relationships, that's when this whole, men get fussier with the whole attraction thing. Oh, excellent. Mudassir Siddiqui, I love that. To walk on a muddy road and avoid dirt to get on your clothes. Absolutely. That's fantastic. Trying to avoid getting intimately close with a female friend is like trying to walk on a muddy road and not get your clothes dirty. Thank you very much, Mudassir. Brilliant analogy. Stop trying to control yourself and walk on the clean road. I don't want to control myself. It's a battle. I don't want that battle. I got too many things to focus on. I'm busy without my mind being preoccupied with next woman that I see every day. Come on, man. Let's have a look at these questions. I had male friends in uni. One of them fancied me for ages and his friend said, "How did you not know?" Yeah, well, this is it. This is a great example. A man will hang around. He'll hang around. He'll just be there. He'll be your mate. He's like, yeah, we're sisters. You're my sister. I'm her brother. She's like my sister. Shut the hell up, bro. She ain't your sister. Stop talking nonsense. You know that. You're lying. You know you're lying. For the girls, maybe it can be a bit more platonic because, as I said, it's more emotional for women. Like if she's friend-zoned you, she's friend-zoned you. But for you guys, you little liar. You don't have any sisters. Stop waffling, you waffler. Mahdi, are you speaking about yourself or about all men? Because a lot of people don't think this way, so you're just exposing yourself. Ayali, I think you're a woman. No. All men think this way. They just don't have the balls to say it. I've just got the balls to say it. That's it. Period. Reminds me of one of Eminem's lyrics. Well, how does it go? I've just got the balls to say it in front of y'all and I don't have to be false or sugar-coated at all. That's what I'm telling you. I'm not sugar-coating the message and that's why it's difficult for you to hear. What to do when a man ghosts you for weeks? He probably doesn't like you. He probably doesn't like you. Thank you, official Said. Appreciate it. Say, Ayali, why ask the question if you... This is the problem I have with you guys. You ask a question, I give you the answer, but you still have your opinion. Then don't ask the question. Don't ask the question. Dabo Tooth, my guy. Appreciate it, bro. Okay, this is a good one. Sadie. Surely the woman has to make herself available. I've always made sure my friend was in the friend zone. Yes, of course. You're the gatekeepers of sex, Sadie. Yes. That's not the point I'm making here. The point I'm making is he's thinking it. And if you made yourself available, he would exploit it. So why entertain something whereby you know that individual would exploit it or take advantage of that opportunity if it presented itself to him? Yes, women are the gatekeepers of sex. Yes, he cannot take advantage of that if you don't make it available to him in the first place. My point is, why go there? Doesn't it make more sense to stay away? Why try and keep yourself clean whilst walking on the muddy path? Why try and control yourself from eating the junk food in the cupboard when you're on a diet? Just throw the damn thing out the house and get the junk food on the weekend. Well, don't cheat on the weekend. That's not what I'm saying. But you understand my point? Stop trying to restrain yourself. That's long. That's so long. Just get rid of it in the first place. Ahl al-Hadith, I appreciate it. Right. Ahmed Sheb, thoughts on getting married at 23? Akhi, look, we're Muslims, right? You're a Muslim. We cannot fulfill our sexual desires outside of marriage. So we kind of have to get married for that, right? If you want to fulfill your sexual desires. If you're at the point where you feel like, khalas, I have to get married now, then get married. If you can wait a little bit, wait a little bit. You know yourself better than anyone. Yep, I think a lady has written this. A lot of the times we think they're just friends, but he will want to pounce when he can. Absolutely. Okay. I argue with my husband a lot and don't know how to stop. That's out of the realm of... I don't want to answer a question without a lot of context. So it would be unfair for me to even attempt to answer this question without understanding the background behind this, you know? I'd recommend you speak to... I don't even want to say marriage counsellor. I mean, Laura Doyle is completely against marriage counsellors, and I like Laura Doyle's works. But if you want to have that discussion, sister, provide me the details in private, inshallah. I don't want to give advice on something that I don't have the details to. Right. How to reject a woman without hurting her feelings? That's a good question. I like that. If you remember the other day, for those of you who are on the live, I said to you that I once met a sister who, in her pictures, she looked great. I was very happy with how she looked. And then when I went to meet her in real life, my stomach turned. Like, my belly done a backflip. It was awful, right? I never told her. I never ever told her the real reason, the true reason why I didn't want to pursue with her anymore. I didn't do that to her because I didn't want to wreck her self-esteem. You know, I didn't want to tell her the harshness of that reality. So I simply said, you know what, it's just not for me. I just have to move on. And that's it. I didn't even give her a real reason, frankly speaking. I just said, it's just not for me. I need to move on. I didn't want to hurt her self-esteem, her self-confidence. You know, I didn't want to do that to her. I didn't want to do that to her. So just find a way to be soft about it without wrecking her self-esteem and move on. Swiftly as well. Don't long it out. Swiftly. Okay, I just don't know how to give him space and he stays moody for ages after arguments. Yeah, space is important. Look, relationships are paradoxical. The more you pursue something, the more it runs away from you. The more you turn your back on it, the more it will come towards you. So, ladies in particular, sometimes you want an instant result now, so you berate your husbands. That's just going to push him further into his shell. Best thing for you to do is to go quiet, turn your back on him. Watch how he comes. Maybe it'll take a few hours, maybe a few days. He will come. Mark my word, he will come. This is a good question. As a man, how do you deal with rejection? Well, I'd like to know where I went wrong. Find out where it is you went wrong. What did you do wrong? If you can get that information. If you can't, then just move on, bro. Move on. But be critical about yourself. Try not to think, oh, that other person was such a horrible person. And, you know, no. Just try to be self-critical so that you can learn from where you went wrong, improve upon it, fix it, and move forward positively. That's how I would deal with it. Well, yeah, sister, no problem. Okay, Hannah, you said something here. The test you mentioned wouldn't work on him, in my opinion. What are your thoughts? Which test are we referring to, Hannah? Please tell me. Okay. One of my friends' wife keep trying to talk to me, but I don't know how to tell my friend. Woo! Gentlemen, do not play fire with your friend's wife. So you're Algerian as well? Is he Arab? He good to look. He will kill you, bro. Don't play fire with your friend's wife. Yeah? Like, just cancel that relationship right now. Cancel that relationship. Right. If you want to come live, send me a thing. I'd prefer for someone to come live, you know, because the way the questions come up on this Instagram thing is so hard to tell the new questions and the old ones. Right. What do you think of Sirtaj? Who's that? Who's Sirtaj, bro? Let's have a look at this. I'm at a stage where I've gone deeper into red pill hypergamy, which has left me with anxiety and paranoia. And at the same time, I'm halfway through reading. I can't see the whole question. Write the question in a couple of words, in a couple of lines, bro, so I can look at it, because it's disappeared. I can't see the whole question. Right. The Pashtun guy you did a live with. Are you talking about TikTok now? Oh, right, okay. I mean, what do I think about him? He looks like a good bodybuilder to me. Other than that, I don't really know him. What am I meant to think of him, you know? I agree. Some male friends do think like that. I've been in a situation like that where guys pretend to be a friend. The person is now dead to me. Well, some of them pretend better than others, Sadie. That's what I'll say to you. Just no, that man will give him free attention and they'll have to give up sex. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, listen. If there's no questions and nobody wants to come live, I'm gonna end this live, inshallah. Right. So, gentlemen, just to recap, and ladies for that matter, friendships with members of the opposite sex is a no-no for so many reasons. Gentlemen, having female friends around you will make you feminine. Ladies, it will do the opposite to you. It will make you more masculine. And moreover, keeping that door, that devil's door open is just as that brother said, trying to keep yourself clean whilst walking on a dirty path. It's a pointless exercise. It's a pointless exercise. All right. So listen, guys, thank you very much for joining the live. You take care. Oh, by the way, I'm back on TikTok. I am out of TikTok jail. So you can catch me on TikTok again, inshallah. Just write the Red Mahdi. But listen, I'm getting violations left and right, community violations for no reason as well. Even my bio, TikTok removed my bio. And I tried to update it. They won't allow me to update it. My bio was bringing back masculine Muslim men. They removed it, and now they won't allow me to readjust it. It just says no bio. So I don't know what's going on. But yeah, I will be saving this live. It will be on my IGTV and on my YouTube. They go up on my YouTube as well. Let's see, hold on. All right, I think that's it. Oh, okay. Hannah, let me just answer Hannah's last one. The come over to mind test. Did you get the first part of the cue? Right. The come over to mind test. Are you asking, do I think the brother will pass it or not? Hey, listen, some brothers might be better at, some guys might be better at hiding it than others. But you open that door and you make yourself available, believe me, he will take it. He will take it. Hannah, you're Muslim anyway, so I don't need to convince you from a logical standpoint why we can't have friends of the opposite sex. You know, because our deen says so. Yeah, I'm trying to explain it in a logical fashion because oftentimes deen is not enough for some people, and for the non-Muslims as well, I have to explain it with logic because they're not necessarily going to accept just verses from the Quran and so on. Anyways, have a lovely evening, guys. I'll catch you on the next one. Take care. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.